June 2007. One of the greatest wrestlers in the world suddenly vanished from public view. Fans waited. WWE waited. And the world waited. But what unfolded inside Chris Benoit's quiet Georgia home would shock the entire planet, change professional wrestling forever, and leave behind a trail of unanswered questions that experts still debate today. How did a disciplined, respected, family-loving superstar fall into a dark spiral no one could see coming? Was it stress, brain damage, a hidden mental breakdown, or something far more chilling? Tonight, we dive deep into one of the most disturbing and mysterious cases in sports history, the Chris Benoit tragedy. Chris Benoit wasn't just a wrestler. He was a symbol of work ethic, discipline, and perfectionism. From his early training in the infamous Heart Dungeon to becoming world champion, Benoit built a reputation for unmatched intensity and dedication. Colleagues described him as quiet, humble, almost obsessed with mastering his craft. But behind the calm, behind the discipline, there were signs of emotional strain, hidden injuries, and the intense pressure of maintaining a top-tier wrestling career for decades. The stage lights were bright, but the shadows backstage were even darker. The final days of Chris Benoit's life remained the center of endless investigations. Throughout the week, Benoit reportedly communicated with colleagues but behaved strangely, missing a live event, sending unusual text messages, and giving explanations that didn't match his usual disciplined behavior. WWE officials grew concerned, but the puzzling messages and conflicting information only deepened the mystery. Each day, the timeline became more confusing, as if Benoit was slipping into an invisible internal battle. What triggered the sudden changes? Why did a man known for reliability begin unraveling in silence? When authorities finally entered Benoit's home, the news hit the world like an earthquake. The wrestling community collapsed in grief, disbelief, and confusion. WWE immediately canceled a show and aired a tribute. But within 24 hours, new information forced the company to make a drastic reversal. Fans were stunned. Reporters scrambled for answers. What began as mourning instantly turned into one of the biggest controversies in entertainment history. The details shocked not only wrestling fans, but the entire world of sports and media. Something had gone terribly, tragically wrong, and the questions only multiplied. Experts analyzed everything: stress, mental health, substance influence, long-term untreated injuries, and chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE. Medical researchers later revealed that Benoit's brain showed severe trauma consistent with decades of wrestling impacts. Specialists compared it to the brain of an elderly Alzheimer's patient. Family friends mentioned emotional struggles and career pressure. Investigators looked into medications found at the scene. Many factors pointed to a complex psychological collapse, but no single explanation fully answered every question. To this day, the debate remains. Was it CTE alone? Or did multiple pressures create the perfect storm? The media went into overdrive. Headlines labeled Benoit everything from a fallen hero to a dangerous villain, often without full context. WWE scrubbed his name from broadcasts. Fans were split, many heartbroken, many angry, all confused. Some journalists blamed the wrestling industry. Others pointed to the long history of brain injuries in contact sports. Families affected by head trauma stepped forward demanding reforms. Documentaries, interviews, and investigative reports continued for years, each offering new angles but never providing a complete picture. The tragedy didn't just end lives, it changed an entire industry. Chris Benoit's story remains one of the most difficult and controversial chapters in professional wrestling. His in-ring brilliance, once admired, now sits forever tied to an unthinkable tragedy. Yet the case sparked major reforms: stricter wellness policies, concussion protocols, athlete mental health support, and long-term brain trauma research. Even today, fans and experts still ask, could this disaster have been prevented? Were there invisible warning signs no one recognized? And how should history remember someone whose life ended in such devastating circumstances? The mystery lies not in the facts, but in the questions that still haunt the world.